Warn you about bangs and flashes. Told you. So, Armageddon is breaking out. Pyrotechnics come courtesy of Phoenix Fireworks. They are award winners. They're from Kent. Professional displays since 1972. The TJD Warbird team, also from Kent. Their shop has the most amazing stock of radio control plastic kits, a huge range. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, Sally B is a memorial to the 79,000, I will say that again, the 79,000 United States airmen who gave their lives during World War II. Ladies and gentlemen, Sally B. Thanks to the vision of Ted White, this beautiful B-17 arrived at Duxford in March 1975, and if my maths are any good, that means next year it celebrates 5 decades. Against all the odds, this machine graces our skies today. Sally B is kindly supported today by Mace Aero, Global Private Aviation. We thank you. Sally B's back to her home base at Duxford. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go from the west. And to your left. The Mark 9 is the well-known MH434, been displaying here year upon year. Back on the stick. Has the very distinctive black and white half wings, which was put together at the time as a defence against friendly fire. But as you can see, against the blue sky, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Them. On the last pass are two Spitfires. One that joined the 9th Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, rolling in. 3 L4s and a Tiger Moth. The GI flight. American Patrol. There goes the brake. The North American Harvard. And in her first display season, we give you Isabel Rutland. The distinctive sound of a Pratt & Whitney R1340 Wasp, 550 horsepower, gives it a maximum speed of 205 miles per hour. It's a very good place now to say that the ultra quiet of the Pipistrelles will, well, later we promise you 2 aeroplanes that are going to will make up for the quiet, shall we say. Also based here is the modified Zenith CH-750 by the Nuncats team. Those of you regular, and lots of you will have seen this aeroplane. It's made several successful test flights here at Old Buckenham. It's not here The test program goes on, and the required certification for a display is not yet in place. Instead, it's been invited to Oshkosh, the massive display in Wisconsin, and it's over there. Ladies and gentlemen, high-powered aerobatics from the Titans. Patrick Wilson, Philip Ansell. Patrick in the Yak 50, Philip in the Extrema XA 42. Members of the audience may think they've changed the shape of one of their aeroplanes this year. Titans normally fly floating around. We're going back to wartime. And let's face it, Nigel Wilson is fabulous, but is he welcome in an enemy aircraft? If only we had some method of disposing of him in the nicest possible way. Churchill set up the local defence volunteers, then called the Home Guard. They get ridiculed as being, well, hardly effectual at all. Not so. If you read Leo McKinstry's beautiful book, Operation Sea Lion, the very fact that the army had a backup in the Home Guard, significant part of the eventual stopping of the invasion of the UK, Operation Sea Lion, CeeLo, by Nazi Germany. David Croft and Jimmy Perry were the ones that wrote it, and they were also responsible for It Ain't Half Hot, Mum. Remember that one? Keep your eye on Nigel and that Messerschmitt. I reckon they're going to get him. Private Pike, played by Ian Lavender. Bless him, he died in February this year. He kept saying, my mum won't like this. Gentlemen, I warned you this was going to be noisy. Good friend has just told me that Duxford had 2 F-35s yesterday. They were A models. Rubbish! This is a B! In Lockheed's words, this is a force multiplier. Strike, air-to-air, electronic warfare, intelligence gathering. It's 5th generation, and it doesn't like radars. It's very, very stealthy. As I said, it's the Royal Air Force's superb new strike fighter. Lockheed Martin built, but very much a lot of British content inside it. Here he comes. Pushes it along at Mach 1.6. air-to-air missiles in the weapons bay you just saw opened. You can also take things on the wings, but that ruins the stealth effect. 3,497 are in service and on order for 18 air arms. The F-35A, the one that chooses to visit Duxford, is the land-based version. The F-35B, this one, is VSTOL, short takeoff and vertical landing. The F-35C, big wing for the big American carriers. And now a slow roll by. We call this high alpha. Nose up. Computer inputs all the way. Give it flight regimes that would be impossible in none of other aeroplanes. Service with the Royal Air Force since 2006, and in December last year it joined the Fleet Air Arm, also at Marham, with 809 Naval Air Squadron. It's capable of operations off our carriers HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales. British BAE Systems at Samlesbury and Preston build the rear fuselage on each and every F-35. For the F-135, the team leader is Rolls-Royce, and that gives this aeroplane vertical landing and short takeoff ability. Via a huge barn door, there is a lift fan just behind the pilot, swiveling jet pipe at the rear, and very Harrier-like wing-mounted roll posts to provide stability. Is a way to make a departure. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll convey your applause. Flight Lieutenant Andrew Cronin, Yoda, 207 Squadron Marham, making history here at Old Buckenham. Mustangs flown by Brian Smith. Messerschmitt, as I will call it, by Paul Bonhomme. And they too are enjoying our beautiful skies. Messerschmitt was finally assembled in 1959. The Mustang is also a youngster. It was built by the Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation in Australia for that nation's Air Force as a CA-18 Mark 21 in 1947. Up at Samlesbury in Lancashire, where this aeroplane was test flown just down the road at Wharton, the joint UK-Italy-Italian Project Tempest is underway. They are building the first concept demonstrator of an unbelievable sixth generation aeroplane that will fly in 2027. As he hits the torches, you can see the black and white invasion stripes of another era. You can also see one of the many distinctive elements of this aeroplane up on the nose, the foreplanes. The noise and power on this aeroplane is such that I'm not going to talk you through most of its manoeuvres. Suffice it to say, its rate of roll is phenomenal. Its rate of climb is phenomenal. Its agility, well, you guessed it, phenomenal. Now, you saw the F-35B do this. This is high alpha. State-of-the-art control. Get ready for this. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. We'll tell Turbo, wasn't that exceptional? Royal Air Force.
Sure that they know exactly where they're going to land and where they're going to come in. Let's give a really, really warm Old Buckenham warm welcome. So, as they come around the corner and come into land, leading the team is Flight Sergeant Liam Lyons, Sergeant Sean McCabe, Sergeant Andy Lynn, Sergeant Dave Coleman Moffat, Sergeant Greg Appleby, Sergeant Joe Finch, and Don't forget we've still got our two flag bearers sitting down. These are the lightest members of the team. They are picked specifically for this role. That's why it takes them a little bit longer to get down. Let's save the best till last. Go on, let's give them a huge round of applause. Sergeant Marcus Shields and Flight Lieutenant Jen Littler. And as you can see, just above them, there goes our dropship with our Dornier and our crew from Summit Air. And one of the pilots on board the aircraft today is his family here today, so a big shout out and dedication to Larry and his family. Hope you had a fantastic day here today. Now the Falcons display is never fully complete until all the parachutists are on the ground. Once they're on the ground, they will remove all their parachuting equipment. They'll make sure everything is safely stowed away, the smoke canisters are removed, and then they will await the instructions from the drop zone safety officer, Flight Lieutenant Alice Rogers. She'll put her Royal Air Force beret on, and when the team are ready, she will call them over to carry out the Falcons salute.